Hello friends, welcome to CEC Gurukul Live Lectures. Dear friends, this is a session on career counseling called Pratibha Samvardhan, and today we are talking on careers in econometrics. And for this discussion we have with us in our studios Mr. Archit Laskar, and he is a youth motivator who believes in be the driving force for millions of the students and the youth who wish to have a successful careers. Sometimes we are unaware of the paths, and through the CEC Gurukul Live sessions we try to give you the insight so that you can find a road ahead. And for that road we always have some motivators with us. As I told you, we have Mr. Archit today with us, and he has explained us in detail about what econometrics is and how it could be used, and it is used in different sectors and departments, how it is important to study economics, mathematics, statistics at the school level. Now moving from school to the colleges, the undergraduate courses or the postgraduate courses which you opt for, and if you are looking for this course, let's try to understand what are the courses available at different levels, whether it is undergraduate level or postgraduate level. So what insight do you have for the students?
Okay, thanks a lot. So of course, college life is a big part of what shapes our careers. Once you finish with school, you move on to higher education, and exactly what course you choose in this higher education plays a big part in your later career. So I'd like to start off with which degrees would be most beneficial to lead a successful career path in econometrics. First of all, I'd like to start with economics. Economics is a very beneficial career degree, especially for theoretical econometricians, as they come up with underlying hypotheses during the econometric analysis process, which can be later tested by applied econometricians. So, for your undergraduate studies, you'd learn intermediate micro and macro econometrics, intermediate micro and macroeconomics, which would be probably the most beneficial part of your course, which forms the core of econometric analysis later on. So microeconomics again is the analysis or the study of individual units of an economy, like firms, the government, households, etc. Whereas macroeconomics deals with the behavior and performance of the entire economy as a whole. So yes, economics is the most beneficial degree for theoretical econometricians later on. Second is econometrics itself. The most beneficial coursework here would be the basic concepts and methods of econometrics, where you learn about regression analysis, which is really beneficial for making econometric models later on. You'd also learn advanced statistical methods like time series analysis and panel data, and you can also take elective courses in certain specialized fields like financial econometrics or health econometrics. So doing this would slightly narrow your field down, but since it's an elective course, it would give you a huge edge over your competitors and give you a great head start into such fields. Third is maths. The core topics which would help you later on as an econometrician are calculus, calculus 1, calculus 2 and calculus 3. This calculus is used a lot in econometric modeling. Second would be linear algebra. Algebra again used to form equations using variables. This would again be really useful for econometric modeling, and as well as differential equations, again economic modeling as well, econometric modeling as well. So all three topics, just maths in general, is a really beneficial subject for economic modeling, econometric modeling later on. Another subject which could be really beneficial is computer science, specifically in developing a strong understanding in programming languages, Python or Strata, etc., because this would really help you in the third step of econometric analysis, where you survey historical data and come up with the values of unknown parameters. So learning about data structures and algorithms would help you in the organization and manipulation of data. Database management, where you learn how to use queries and how to manage databases, would again help you in this step as well. You could also take elective courses in computer science where you specialize in data science or machine learning, which would help you again in the analysis of large data sets in a very short amount of time using intelligent processes. Next, I'd like to come to extracurricular activities. These are activities or uh, basically things you should do apart from your general coursework or the degree which you do. So first of all, I'd like to suggest doing research projects under the guidance of your faculty members. A very good example would be conducting some sort of research work on collection and analysis of data. This would give you a lot of experience later on for being an econometrician and coming up with models and serving historical data, etc. Another important suggestion would be to seek internships in different firms, government agencies, research institutions, financial firms, or consulting companies, etc. Again, this would give you a lot of real world experience or practical experience in different fields. You could also join clubs in your college or university, and also try to attend as many seminars as you can. This would again expand your knowledge and also provide you with connections to help you in your career later on. So again, just to sum up, the extracurricular activities which I'd suggest one to partake in are research projects under faculty guidance, internships, and also joining clubs and attending seminars. Next, I'd move on to postgraduate degrees, which are optional but really beneficial. So you could take a postgraduate degree in advanced econometrics, where you would develop a very deep understanding of the subject, and it would give you a great lead uh, related to your competitors and give you a great head start later in your career. You could also learn about mathematical economics, where you learn advanced mathematical concepts, again giving a great head start. You could also uh, take specialized courses, again specialized or elective courses in different subjects like health, labor, finance, etc., which would again narrow down your field, but you would have so much knowledge by this point that you could go straight into like a very good position later on in econometrics. You could also opt for a degree in research methods. This would basically help you on how to conduct research or econometric research. So this would help you specifically in the third step of econometric analysis, where you survey historical data. It could also help you in the second and first, in fact, because it's research. Research would help you in any field, like any step of econometric analysis. It forms the basis of econometrics in general. So research methods again is a really good degree to opt for.
So these are the various courses you have explained about different schools, whether it is about the post graduation level or the undergraduate level. Now going towards the different universities, before that I would like to ask you one important question. If somebody is from the science background at school level, and one wish to change his or her careers and wish to be into econometrics, now what is mandatory for the student? Is the student is eligible to opt for any of the courses at the undergraduate or the postgraduate level? One needs to study then?
So if one is coming from a science background, generally people from a science background already have a very strong understanding of mathematics, which forms the core of econometrics, as I said. So perhaps a person from a science background would not be very beneficial as a theoretical econometrician, but as an applied econometrician, he or she could be really beneficial as they already have a strong mathematical background. Uh, Further, if they want to increase their increase their employability even more, I'd say try to take courses and stuff in data science or computer science, which would help you analyze large data sets. Uh, so yeah, I'd say just improving your skills in the field of data science would help you a lot, coming from a science background.
And it is good if one is focused.
Of
When one is
course,
focused, the
yes.
path is clearer. But if one wishes to change the field, yes, the options are there for you. Now, the important thing is where to study. Which are those universities which are offering courses on econometrics? We would be beneficial. Our student community would be, they would be obliged if you would suggest some universities where they can go for.
So the benchmark university, so according to the QS University World Rankings, the top 5 universities are all American. So in order, they're Harvard, MIT, Stanford, University of Chicago, and Princeton. So the top universities in the world, they're all in the US. Apart from this, if you look at the UK, then the London School of Economics comes in at 7th, the University of Oxford comes in at 9th, and the University of Cambridge comes in at 10th. So these are options in the US and the UK. Um, if you're looking at schools or universities abroad but not in the US and the UK, then you have Bocconi University in Milan, Italy. You have Peking University in China, and also National University of Singapore. These are some really good institutions outside the US and UK abroad, which have offer really good courses. As for India, some good universities are Symbiosis University. They offer both an undergraduate and postgraduate program on econometrics slash economics. You also have the Vellore Institute of Technology. They offer you a bachelor's program. The University of Hyderabad, they offer you a master's program. The Savitha Institute of Medical and Technical Sciences, they give you a bachelor's program. And so basically the thing is, these universities, according to the QS University World Rankings, they're not ranked very highly. So a suggestion would be to take a double major. So if you're taking economics or econometrics as a degree, you could pair it up with data science, or you could pair it up with mathematics or something, which would give you a really good edge. Or you could also do your undergraduate in India and also go abroad for your higher learning as well. That would give you a very stable career path as well.
So these are the options where one can go about. Now the question arises, what are those areas, be it in the public sector or the private sector, what options does it create for the student who has studied econometrics?
So econometrics, it provides you like with a variety of career paths, both in the public and the private sector. It's just got a ton of opportunities. First one, I'd like to start off with a policy analyst. This is basically an econometrician who analyzes the economy, comes up with associations between two different variables in the economy, basically helps you to understand the economy better, and then using this economic model or this new understanding that they've created, they help and advise ministries and policymakers in their decisions to help them achieve their goals, like economic growth, improving welfare, eliminating poverty, etc. So econometrists or policy analysts, they play a huge role in this thing. They could also work for so for some example of some institutions where a policy analyst could work are obviously government agencies like RBI or the Federal Reserve in the US. They could also work for world organizations or international organizations like the World Bank or the International Monetary Fund. You could also become an economist if you want come up with like such degrees and such subjects in the past. You could be an economist who could come up with theories, work for the government, forecast future trends, help in policy making, etc. You could also be an econometric researcher who would conduct research, find out the relationships between two different variables, and again advise the government or the policy makers on how to improve their decisions. You could also be a statistician who focuses on the collection, analysis, and inference of economic data and reporting such findings, relations, theories, models, etc. to national agencies, world organizations, etc., even private firms, investment banks, hedge funds, etc., to improve their decisions again. Another career could be a financial analyst or a consultant, where you find out relationships between two different variables using econometric processes. You but here you basically focus on the market or the financial market. So you find out relationships between variables specifically in the financial market, and then you advise different firms like hedge funds, investment banks, investors, etc., on how to use their money, how to put their money, where to put their money, etc. You could also be a data scientist who generates business insights, develops algorithms, improves decision making processes, etc., for startups, technology companies, etc. You could also be you could also go into the academic field and become a university professor or a school teacher, etc. And apart from these careers, also you can also delve into many fields like health, real estate, urban planning, environment, etc. So overall, I just get the point across that econometrics is a vast field, and the scope for careers is just massive, and you can delve into many different fields, many careers. There are a ton of opportunities everywhere.
Yes, definitely, as explained by you, how econometrics can be applied into different departments, different sectors, whether be it the government sector or the private sector. Now the question arises, every student, when he or she opts for a particular career, he first of all thinks or asks what would be the salary packages. Are they going to be up to my expectations, or would I have to, okay fine, itna hai to itna hi milega, but
Yeah.
does there any limit, or it is beyond? I mean, the sky is the limit.
Yeah. So I'd say for econometrics being such a vast subject, there's really you can't really define it in terms of average income as such, because you could go to any field. You could work for the RBI, the IMF, you could work for the World Bank, you could advise investors, you could advise hedge funds, you could go into any field, health, labor, etc. So again, I'd say uh, working for the RBI or government agencies, they're slightly less lucrative. They would probably offer you smaller packages compared to working for investment banks, hedge funds, etc., where the sky is the limit. They could offer you absolutely ridiculous, massive packages. But again, if you work for policymakers, you also have a lot of social impact as well. There's a certain sense of pride in what you're doing. So again, you can't really quantify the field in terms of median income or average income, as the scope is just so big.
Just one need to work hard for that, and for
really.
working hard one need to have certain skills also.
Yes.
So what are those skills where one has to polish himself or herself? Are there any?
Yes, there are actually many skills which one could have which would give you an edge over others. These are both technical skills and soft skills, so I'll go over both. I'll describe a few of both skills, like technical and soft skills. So first of all, I'd go with a technical skill, which is data analysis, which is the manipulation and analysis of large data sets, which would help you generate insights into future trends, in economics, which would help in various fields, policy making, investing, etc. Another would be modeling and estimation, where you use econometric processes again to come up with economic models. So that's modeling using different estimates, and you basically use that to test underlying hypotheses and forecast future trends. Another, now I'd come to a soft skill, which is problem solving. This is used when you use econometric processes to come up with an economic model which would help solve many real world problems, as you help as you advise policymakers, ministries, etc. You help them make better laws, so that solves a ton of real world problems. Also, if you remember, when I was explaining the steps of econometric analysis, the fourth step, which is testing of the econometric model, certain times the outcomes in the real world do not really match the econometric model which you had made. So problem solving would help you analyze the outcomes and basically modify or correct your econometric model to come up with more consistent or accurate consistent or accurate outcomes. So that's part of problem solving as well. Another skill would be having good research skills. This would include picking the right models to survey, using credible data sources, making good estimations, etc. So research skills are extremely important in the field of econometrics, econometric analysis, regression, etc. Another skill would be critical thinking. Critical thinking is basically where you critically think or analyze or question existing models, econometric models, trying to find gaps in such models and come up with your own models, trying to explain the relationships between economic variables better and come up with your own model. That's, I think, an area where critical thinking plays a big part. Another good skill to have would be collaborative skills, where especially when you're carrying out econometric analysis on large scale, you would work with a large team where a group of people are researching and data handling, coming up with models, estimating, etc. So collaborative skills are especially important when you're working in a team. Probably I'd say the most important skill of all is communication skills, because oftentimes when you're really deep into economic theory, when you're conducting econometric analysis, you're coming up with mathematical models, statistical inference, you use a lot of technical terms, but once you make a good model, economic model, which can be used by policymakers, investors, hedge funds, etc. You come up with a model which is very technical in nature, but you have to explain this model to different ministries, firms, etc. So there shouldn't be a communication barrier. You should be able to explain your model so that ministries or governments are able to make laws using such models, and firms are able to make such like good decisions based on such models. So communication skills is very important in bridging this gap. Another skill would be attention to detail. So when you're making econometric models, you need to account for every single detail in the findings so that they're not inaccurate, etc. Another good skill to have would be a wide knowledge of economic theory. This is especially for theoretical econometricians who perform the first stage of econometric analysis, where they come up with the underlying theory, hypotheses or suggestion which can be tested later on, and econometric models can be developed on the basis of such economic theory. Another good skill to have would be just the simple skill of curiosity or ability to be curious about your subject, being up to date with latest economic trends, developments, etc., would again help in all steps of econometric analysis, going from making new economic theory to serving economic data, etc.
So, Mr. Arshad, it is always someone's, path on which you would like to follow, because inspiration comes from certain people, those who have already worked in that particular field. So, if you talk about econometrics, can you quote some people who have done the wonderful job in the particular area?
Sure. So I could talk about a person called Jan ten Bergen. He was a Dutch person who who played a big part in the development of economics. So he was born in the Netherlands. He attended the University of Leiden, where he studied physics, mathematics, and physics. He later also got a PhD in physics, and his thesis was basically on it was related to physics and also economics at the same time. So this could like potentially foreshadow what he later did in his career. Um, his thesis was basically minimum problems of physics, which was related to physics and econometrics. He, in his career, he started working at the Central Bureau of Statistics in Netherlands. He also pioneered econometrics by applying statistics in the field of econometrics. He also joined the Dutch Economic Institute and the League of Nations, where he developed early macroeconomic models, analyzed business styles, etc., cycles, etc. So his work was mainly focused around understanding and stabilizing economic fluctuations. An important work of his, he came up with a rule called the Tinbergen rule, which basically specified that for each policy target there should be at least one policy tool which affects that policy target. So if there's one target which you have or something which you want to change, there should be a specific policy tool which is tailored to change that particular policy target. He also won a Nobel Prize in Economic Sciences.
So, you have given us the wonderful session. We love to hear you more and more, but as the time suggests that we should take the leave, and we would like to thank you for giving us this wonderful session where you have explained in detail about the various aspects related to econometrics, what econometrics is, and how one can choose it as the careers. It is a lucrative career. One could be in different fields, as well as one could earn in lakhs, in millions, if one wish to and desire to, if he or she works on the skills as suggested by you. So we would like to thank you once again for giving us this session. So today Mr. Arshad Laskar has given us this wonderful session, and dear friends, we believe that you might have gathered maximum knowledge through him. And we would like to suggest you, tell you, ask you, if you want to give your feedback for this particular lecture, do write to us at cecgurukul.live@gmail.com. We are going to meet again next Thursday and would be discussing on another important topic related to your careers. Till then, take care. Goodbye.